So tell us about the story that you wanted to share with us, about representation, about you being the object of really important representation for young Black girls.
Well, just to give you a little bit of background, I was fortunate enough to be an elementary principal in a somewhat diverse school in New York. And I was talking to one of the moms who happens to be African American, and she was just a lovely lady, really wanted to welcome me to the community. And she said, Dr. Franks Randall, I have to tell you what my daughter said to me yesterday. I said, what? Not knowing as a principal, what is the story going to be? And she said, Mommy, we have a new principal, and she's brown just like me. And she was so excited to tell her mother. She burst into the door. And I realized at that moment that my presence in that school and my presence in any leadership situation is more than just whatever competencies I bring to the table. It's really about Black girls, and I think to some degree Black boys, seeing someone who looks like them, which can be a very rare occurrence. And that was a really important moment for me because I understood the importance of being a Black woman in a leadership position, and that it was more than just doing a good job running the school, it was inspiring other Black girls in particular and Black children um, more globally.
Yeah, I love that story. And it's funny when I was, just creating the Black Women World Record, I remember you telling me that story and really thought about that in particular, when creating this whole movement. And so, I think that just like you said, it's really important for us to see that. And I also, as your daughter, I saw that in you. Like you are my ultimate role model. And sort of just the picture of what is possible. And so, yeah, and so I just wanted to thank you for that as well. Of course, I have
Uh,
so many things to thank you for, but that's definitely one of them. So when you think about this on a global scale, right? So you're a principal and you had all the kids in your school that you were able to affect, and now, we're working on this movement with women around the world, right? Women and girls around the. We've got girls from, women from United States, from Kenya, Nigeria, the Caribbean, and when you think about that on the internet, the World Wide Web, what does that mean to you?
well, I really strongly believe that numbers matter. That one of the important things, one of the most inspiring things about this movement is that it's going to show the world, really, that Black women are a force to be reckoned with. And that's one of the reasons why the whole notion of the world record is so appealing to me. Because, yes, in our individual worlds, we can do some fabulous things. There's no question about that. And many, many women in general, Black women specifically, have done that. But when you start to put us all together and you start to look at the totality towards attention, I think you can't help but notice, you can't help but take note of the fact that all of these women have joined together for this world record. And I think that that's something that you can't even really quantify. It's just very, very powerful.
Yeah, yeah. And, I'm just curious. I have some other questions, but I think ultimately, Mom, if there's anything else in particular that you'd like to say, um, you should just feel free to whatever your sort of last the last thing that you want to say, or like, anything that we haven't talked about? I know, again, we'll talk about lots of things in the course of the filming the documentary, but if there's anything else, just let us know
Well,
now.
I think one of the themes of this is also education and the fact that there's going to be women showing diplomas with a wide variety of education. And when I think about my own education, yes, certainly I'm very proud of the diplomas that I achieved and the degrees. There's no question about that. But the real importance about education is knowing stuff. Like, whatever your field is, you want to be an expert. You want to be the best that you can possibly be. And you want your education to enable you to be the best possible fill in the blank that you are. And I think that in addition to inspiring Black women to achieve things, we need to underscore that education isn't just a piece of paper. It's what you learn and what you apply and how that changes how you see yourself as a person. And it definitely trickles out into other parts of your life.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's such an important point. And, what you learn, you get to keep forever. Like, that's yours, right? And it becomes a part of who you are. And my goodness, like, you modeled that so fully, my entire life. And so, yeah, I just want to end by thanking you for your inspiration. Like, you are the inspiration for this project. You really are. And I thank you and I love you.
I love you too.